RMJ movie reviews back again, people, and I'm coming with an on-the-fly movie review of Michael Bay's newest movie, 13 Hours. I really like the movie. As we all know, because I was one of the people who did not know, but there's some soldiers. I don't want to call them ex-soldiers, but they're soldiers who are not on active duty. They're kind of like they're contractors, and they're really watching these people who work for a U.S. embassy in, I think it's Libya. And basically there was this dictator who was there, and there's basically war going on between various militia groups and all kinds of weapons of mass destruction that are going on around here. So it's like you got people working at the U.S. Embassy who are kind of trying to manage this whole crazy situation, and these contractors who are just kind of basically, they're meant to be bodyguards for these guys. And basically they get under siege by some local terrorist militia groups, whatever you want to call them, and they attack, I believe it's a U.S. compound they attack, and which obviously they're not supposed to do. But terrorist groups don't care, and all freaking hell breaks loose. And these soldiers who basically comprise of Marines, there's a Ranger, and then I think, forgive me guys, I think Navy SEALs. I could be wrong, it's been a while since I watched it, which would really be like 8 or 9 hours or whatever it's been. The U.S. compound comes under siege. They're trying to kill Jesus, I can't even remember what you call them. You guys know, but they're trying to the terrorists are trying to kill the guy who speaks for the U.S. when you go over to these hostile territories, and the contractor bodyguards, soldier guys who aren't on duty. They make a choice to go in and help the guys who are actually on duty. They don't have to, but they make that choice to go in. And that's the whole movie. And they fought for 13 hours. Definitely, I'm very happy to say that, of course, like everybody on the internet likes to complain about Michael Bay and all that kind of stuff. I was a big fan in the beginning because I loved the original Bad Boys and I loved The Rock, both films. And actually, I saw 3 of his films in a row as they came out each year. So I saw Bad Boys at the theater, The Rock at the theater, and then I saw Armageddon at the theater. Pretty much my string of seeing Michael Bay movies at the theater ended with Armageddon. And although, I like Armageddon, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I think the next one after that, was Pearl Harbor. Yeah, that's right. It was Pearl Harbor. And I saw Pearl Harbor on video, and I thought it was okay. I didn't get as mad about it like everybody else did. But then again, I wasn't that interested to see the movie to begin with, so I didn't care about the love story. I didn't care about how factual. I just didn't care. It was just a movie I just rented from the video store because I was bored. And The Island I really like. Bad Boys 2, I absolutely hate. As I said in another comment section, I just hate Bad Boys 2. I really hate it. I like some of the action sequences in the first and the second act of the film. Almost the entire third act of Bad Boys 2 I just totally hate. I hate that movie. Will and Martin aren't even the stars. It's just the cruelty and the excessive runtime and gore are the stars of that movie. But and as far as the Transformers movies goes, the first one, I like the first one. I thought it was okay because, I'm an 80s kid. I grew up on 80s cartoons, so of course we had been waiting for that. I liked the first one. I saw all the Bayisms in it, meaning the stereotypical racial humor, the excessive, crude, forced humor, the bloated runtime, the girls in the skimpy shorts and all that. I saw all that, but I still thought the first one was okay. Second one, I liked the action in the second one, but I couldn't really follow the story. The third one, Dark of the Moon, I actually shamefully like Dark of the Moon, and especially that sequence at the end where the building is breaking in half and everybody's sliding. I just thought that was awesome. Age of Extinction, I hated. I just hated Age of Extinction. I kind of liked some of the first act. I thought the first act was okay, but I just really hated Age of Extinction with a passion. I just felt like it was torture. And here with 13 Hours, Michael Bay has pulled back. The forced humor is there in light sprinkles. It's nowhere near as bad as it was in the Transformer movies and in Pain. I'm sorry I left out Pain and Gain. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. Even though that has Bayisms to the nth degree, but the Bayisms weren't as bad as like something like the Transformer movies or Pain and Gain and Bad Boys 2, which I think. Bad Boys 2 was oh God, it was just so horrible. It was so horrible. So here the Bayisms are pulled back. I really liked it. I didn't think it was as good as Lone Survivor. It kind of follows the template of Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor is straightforwardly told, and it doesn't have any winks in there, which Michael Bay. I understand. It's his film. When you're a filmmaker and you make films, they gotta have your personality. So the Bayisms are in there, and they're not so bad here. They're kind of okay. Thank God there's no stupid racial humor in here. Michael Bay calls it reality. I just call it just unnecessary racial humor is what I call it. But thank God none of it is here. You don't have no black folks clowning in this movie. So that was good, and the jokes are kind of they're bare minimum, and the action sequences are actually very tense, and I haven't seen a Michael Bay movie in a long time where I felt tension, because the Transformer movies is just like a Clockwork Orange, like being subjected to that flash images. I mean, those movies. But here, there's actually a degree of tension, like when they attack the U.S. compound. And basically, there's like this fortress to hide from the terrorists. The terrorists are like shooting the heck out this fortress. They're trying to beat it down. They can't get in. And pretty much because they can't get in, they come up with the bright idea that, well, since we can't get in and we can't kill the guys who are in there, we're just going to pour gasoline in there and burn them alive. Which is extremely awful. It's a horrible, horrible, awful thought. And there's just... And when that scene happens, that's when the tension for me really kicked up. That's an awful scene. It's very awful. I'm not going to give anything away. Everybody knows, or some people know the story, or some people who don't know the story, I'm not going to give it away. But very tension-filled scene. And there's one sequence I really like, is where the guys come in and they get some people out of the compound. And one of the guys who was in the building as it was burning, obviously he's like out of it. He's just, obviously he's traumatized. He's inhaled smoke. He's just out of it. So they're telling him, you need to drive this way to get to this U.S. embassy area or whatever. Right? I could be wrong. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know all the lingo of military and political stuff. So if I got it wrong, I'm sorry. So either way, they tell him, they're like, the guy from It's Complicated, John Krasinski, I think is his name. He's like, look, go left. And the guy's like so out of it, he's almost been burned alive, He goes to the right. And they drive into basically some other terrorist guys. And these guys surround the car and open fire on it. I'm saying they're like, the windows, my hand here, this is the gun. They open fire on all these military guys that are in the car. It's such a tense scene. They have the car surrounded. And I think that's my favorite action sequence in the whole movie. And basically, they drive the hell out of there. And it's crazy. It's such a tension-filled action sequence. That's by far my favorite movie. It's the first time in years where Michael Bay has had a car chase at the right part of the movie. Because Bad Boys 2, you got this extraordinary car chase that comes early. The Rocket comes early. Transformers, you get these huge car chases that come like in the first act of the movie. It's like, no, save it for later on. And thank God, this car chase is just like awesome. I can honestly say I was hoping they would have put another one at the end of the movie, but that by far is a fantastic action sequence. It's paced just right, and what I love is I'm gonna give away one minor spoiler. The guy survived this chase, right? But I love when they pull into this U.S. Embassy or compound or whatever it is. The car is on fire. It is awesome. They drive up and get out of a burning car and the wheels are on fire. It is so awesome. I just love that scene. Cool action sequence. And I think the movie is very respectful to the guys who fought and died over there. And I really enjoyed the film, and John Krasinski, he did a good job. Because when I saw him on the previews, I wasn't exactly sold on him. Not that I'm a fan or I just like him or anything. I'm kind of yeah and nay about him. He's okay. But, he did a really good job. Everybody, and I like the fact that they didn't have stars or name actors. All these guys who you've seen in this movie are character actors who've been in other films. And I'm glad they went that route. And I just really enjoyed the movie. There was a lot of tension. Most of the time, I think Michael Bay's movies are too long. I didn't even notice the length time. I thought the 2.5 hours was fine. I didn't feel like I was drained like I felt from the last couple Transformer movies. Once the guy started to die, I felt bad. I really enjoyed the film. And of course there's the Michael Bay shaky cam and stuff. I mean, that's gonna be there. It's not like as shaky as like how he used to do with Bad Boys 1 and The Rock and Bad Boys 2, but there's a little bit of it there. But I really like the film, and I kind of see that when Michael Bay can just slow down a minute. I mean, don't get me wrong, this still has typical Michael Bay stuff, but when he slows down and scales it down a little bit, when he pulls back the humor, pulls back some of the action, although this is still very action-packed, but when you just pull it back a little bit, he does good work, so I just hope in the future when Michael Bay does more movies, stop the unnecessary crude racial humor stuff of Bad Boys 2 and all the 4 Transformers movies and Pain and Gain. Just get rid of that stuff. Just go back to the Michael Bay of... Because right here, this movie is Michael Bay of The Rock and Bad Boys 1. And I'll say some of The Island. This is the Michael Bay that's in 13 Hours here. And that's the Michael Bay I like. But the Michael Bay of the Transformer movies and Bad Boys 2 and Pain and Gain, I just want that guy to stay gone. Just be Michael Bay of Bad Boys 1 and The Rock. And this is what we got here. So, fantastic movie. Action sequences are well done. All the actors are fantastic. I just really enjoyed the film, and I felt that I thought it was a nice tribute to the people who died and served over there and survived. I felt it was a nice tribute. Although I like Lone Survivor better because that film plays it more straightforward than this one because, of course, like I said, the little Bayisms are in this movie. But, it was still a very good movie and I enjoyed it. And when it comes on DVD, I hope we get a commentary and I hope we get some behind-the-scenes features of how they did the action sequences at Train because I really enjoyed the film. So, I say if you guys are who are into old school, I used to call them war movies, Full Metal Jacket, The Platoon Leader with Michael Dudikoff, Lone Survivor, all the ones we've gotten in the Saving Private Ryan, all the last couple ones we've gotten, I think you'll really like this film. So subscribe to my channel, thumbs up my video, and please leave a comment below about 13 Hours, maybe something I might have missed, and I really, really enjoyed the film. And in particular, that car chase that I was talking about, where the car was on fire, that's just exciting filmmaking. That was an exciting, tense-filled sequence. It took me back to like how I used to feel when I used to watch movies on cable for the first time, and when I used to go to the movies when I was a kid. Go check out 13 Hours. It's fantastic. Michael Bay, if you watch YouTube or if you care and you're seeing my review, please, 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 stay like this. This film, stay like this. This film, The Rock, Bad Boys 1. Stay on that track, please. Alright, RMJ Movie Reviews. I'll talk to you guys soon.